Good morning, and welcome to another devlog. Yeah, in the past week, I wasn't as punctual on my schedules as I wanted to be, but I had some good progress on this Zig challenge, even though after last time I kind of lost my interest. However, there was a very good learning point for me where I realized RFCs are not always implemented completely in the wild. This is a little bit different than my experience in the organization, where RFCs are kind of rules and standards, and everybody needs to follow those completely. Otherwise, any uh, divergence from it is considered a tech debt inside the organization. That was a interesting thing to learn, right? Yeah. I also last time kind of gave up on the allocator problem, which I didn't like. I am doing these streams to also track how I'm learning, so it's not about that I know this stuff and I'm doing it live like others do. I'm actually learning these stuff. So today I'm going to continue on that path and spend some uh, yeah, some time solving the problem together with you. Maybe I can spend more time today on this stream. Uh, let's hope for that. I was doing some research, and to be honest, I cannot be thankful enough about whomever is running this channel. I found, yeah, basic answer to my question: how can I use the array list? For that, I'm going to just rewatch his video or their video, his or her, I'm not sure. And yeah, but just let me reduce the music a little bit. It's distracting me. It's better now. And yeah, their video doesn't have any voiceover, so I'm going to mute that. Play it. Cool. So they're using a page allocator. It's an easy to use allocator. I still have this document where to use which allocator, which I need to review. Choosing allocators. Maybe this is a good time to do it right now. Choosing an allocator. What allocator to use depends on a number of factors. Here is a flowchart to help you decide. I don't see a flowchart, but okay. Are you making a library? In this case, best to accept an allocator as a parameter, star allocator as a parameter, and allow your library's user to decide what allocator to use. Okay. Are you linking libc? In this case, C allocator is likely the right choice, at least for your main allocator. Are you building for WebAssembly? Then VASM allocator is likely the right choice for your main allocator, as it uses WebAssembly's memory instructions. Is this maximum number of bytes that you will need bounded by a number known at comp time? In this case, use fixed buffer allocator or thread safe fixed buffer allocator, depending on whether you need trace safety or not. Is your program a command line application which runs from start to end without any fundamental cyclical pattern, such as a video game main loop or a web server request handler, such that it would make sense to query everything at once at the end? In this case, it is recommended to follow this pattern. So use arrow allocator and deallocate everything in one go. When using this kind of allocator, there is no need to free anything manually. Everything gets freed at once with the call to arena DNet. Are the allocator part of cyclical? Are the allocations part of cyclical patterns such as video game, mail loop, or web server request? If the applications can all be freed at once at the end of the cycle, for example, once the video game frame has been fully rendered or the web server request has been served, the main arena allocator is a great candidate, as demonstrated in the previous bullet point. This allows you to free entire arenas at once. Note also that if an upper bound of memory can be established, then fixed buffer can be used as a further optimization. Are you writing a test and you want to make sure error out of memory is handled correctly? In this case, use failing allocator. Interesting. Finally, if none of the above apply, you need a general purpose allocator. Zig doesn't have yet a general purpose allocator. I think this is old. This now exists, but this is not as complete as I hoped for. Maybe because of the being an old version of it. Maybe if I do main, no, it's 0.15.1. So some stuff has updated here. Yeah, general purpose allocator is here. Debug failing allocator is changed to testing. Are you writing a test? In this case, use testing allocator. Fixed buffer and arena allocator rules are the same when using this kind of allocator. Arena DNet, yeah. I think the rest is almost the same. Good, but what about page allocator? We didn't have any info here, but I remember there was allocator section, the guide. Allocator, the Zig library provides a pattern for allocating memory, which allows the programmer to choose precisely how memory allocations are done within the standard library, and no allocations happen behind your back. in the standard library. This is good. The most basic allocator is page allocator. Whenever this allocator makes an allocation, it will ask your OS for entire page of memory. An allocation of a single byte will likely reserve multiple kibibytes. As asking the OS for memory requires a system call. This is also extremely inefficient for speed. Okay. Here we allocate 100 bytes as notice how differ is used in conjunction with a free. This is common pattern for memory management in Zig. Okay, interesting. The fixed buffer allocator is an allocator that allocates memory into a fixed buffer and doesn't make any heap allocations. This is useful when heap usage is not wanted. For example, when writing a kernel, it may also be considered for performance reason. It will give you the error out of memory. Is an allocate that allocates memory into a fixed buffer and doesn't make any heap allocations. I need to learn about this difference. Let me take a note on this. Yeah, this is useful when heap usage is not wanted. For example, when writing kernel, it may also be considered for performance reasons. Give you out, okay. And then arena allocator, we know about this one, and C allocator and the rest. So I think this is really useful. For me, allocators kind of were the scary part of the language so far, but it totally makes sense, right? Instead of managing memory behind the scene by the language or the library, Zig's approach is to let the user decide what kind of allocation they want to do in their program, right? And then you have different options to use. Page allocator is the simplest one, asking OS to provide the one page of memory. I'm not sure it's about one page, right? Probably you will get memory in pages depending on how much of it you're going to use, and if the size of the data that you want to store is not matching the number of pages, you are sacrificing some memory space, right? And then there is arena allocator, where you have some control in size and type, and then but the good thing about it is you can just empty it everything together, and the suggestion is use arena allocator for when you know your program will run and die, right? Then it won't be like that your program will use memory over time unnecessarily because you're not emptying it every time that you're putting some data in it, right? And then for I think the most use cases that the application is going to run for a long time, and the part that you are allocating memory to needs to wait until the program, it doesn't need to wait until the program finishes to save memory. A general purpose allocation is helpful because you would then deallocate them when bit by bit, basically. Based on that discussion, I think we did a good thing using a GPA allocator in our program. So this is a server, and I don't expect it to exit, right? Yeah. Hopefully, it doesn't need to exit, but I can manage the memory and call for the allocation every time in each part of the while loop that I have, this cyclic part of the language. And I can use the same thing for my questions, right? But let's see, based on this that I learned now, and whatever example we have here, we just need to initialize our array as empty. I didn't know this, how this works. So far I was using undefined, but that means my questions would be like std array list question of type empty, right? And then to deinit, I will deinit it if I defer now. It will deinit it just like others here inside this loop, hopefully, right? Because defer is at the end of the block. So defer questions. And here I can just try append, and then I need to pass in the allocator to it. The only thing I'm not 100% sure is that is it fine to use the same allocator for different purposes? Hopefully it is, right? Because here this deinit method knows what type I'm talking about. Okay, let's fix this part as well for now. So I'm running this, and then here I can do try questions dot append allocator question. What's the error? that's that. And do I really need to have a for loop? Because I am not using, so let's do it in while. Actually, that's not a bad thing to have. Can I remove this one? No. I would like to quickly check my Ziglings, and there was some examples of while where I think I could also initialize in the same line. So this is the simplest, and then while 2, it was increasing after the column. I think this was a thread. While 3, while 4. So let's do this where n equal to 0. I do with I, and then here I is less than q header dot qd count. Here do I plus equal 1. This is better. And then where offset is 12, we start there, and then for offset we increase the length, and then the questions are allocated. Let's get rid of this part. Also, this buffer is not needed anymore. Now I have an array list of questions. What I want to do, I think here I need to fix something. When I do question par, it should be question dot question. Yeah, because I want to have the question object only and not the response of my parser. Then I do that. And down here, what am I using here? For question, I have question length. Question len will be the total size of my row bytes, right? And maybe I can calculate it here as well. Var question length equal to 0, and then question length plus equal to question dot raw dot length. I'm going to put the factor here. I think these are all signs of how I need to refactor my question parser. Also, right now I'm not supporting any compression on my question. That I postponed that so long as I can, but I think it's about time after my program getting compiled. I need to take care of that. And over here we will have question then. Actually, maybe better to make it plural questions length. Yeah. It's better now. Allocator free the response. We have the size, but answer lengths also need to change because yeah, the thing is it doesn't care about the values I'm passing in as a response. Probably I'm going to do it in a loop and extend it. Okay, that's fine. And then let's fix the question first. Answer question allocator yes. Of that here, probably it's better for me to set some comments. Add header to response. Add question to response. Yeah, and answer the response, right? And now I need to refactor this piece because for questions question I need to basically do this. I'm overwriting question, I believe. Why do I have the question defined? It shouldn't exist anywhere. Where is this? go to definition. Okay, I'm using queue. Hopefully after the cycle, after the block, it would be, let's call it this. Now I have the questions listed hopefully correctly. Let's see if our program compiles. Of course not, this is the first time. Yeah, this one should be a size. Question lengths. Also area size. Question 0. I made a mistake somewhere. Line 81. Need to quickly check my message that I see, not this one. Okay, that's fine. Where was I? Question row. Ah, this is where I'm defining this. Okay, no, that wasn't necessary. Was I used? And then for questions, array list is not indexable and not a range. Okay, I cannot use. It's a shame, but I think can I do var I again? No. QR. While QR is less than questions that. Oh, okay. Let's rely on Q header then. Q decount and QR was equal 1. How can I pick a value out of it? Oh, okay, I missed that part. Here I should say items. This is beautiful. Q.len, no field name len instruct question. Yeah, true that. Because here I need to do let's do this. Question is q.raw. I don't think it's necessary to use any of the fields here and use question. Also another to do refactor variable. Beautiful, it's running finally. So now if I echo to my server, it crashes. Nice. What's happening? source and destination argument have non-equal lengths. That's a shame. Why is that? Let's print. I want to have question. I think I know. This one. No, I don't know. This one is 12 bytes for the header. Then questions lengths should contain the lengths of both questions. And the answer I didn't touch. What could be wrong here? Okay, let's print some useful info. I have the question. .len, and then questions len. $19.38. Oh, yeah, I get it now. I think it's this bar. It's starting from the offset. And for the first question, it's working fine. However, for the second question, it's not tracking that and trying to override on the same place, but the offset is already ahead of it. So what I need is why am I even adding it to the offset? Why I'm not just with 12? Why not just the offset? Okay, good. I have codecrafters. Codecrafters. That's weird because I was sending it something else, but let's try. Yes, I was sending it sorcery zone as a second argument. That's not good. What's happening? Print question dot, no, actually print q dot name. Let's first make sure we have the right value there. Okay. No. Even though I don't want this, should I put S here? But the thing is, the logic here is fine. It's yeah, I should have put S there. But I want to keep that for now. Remove this bit. This 1616 was caused by that. But why I'm getting the same value twice in the counter? Is it happening up here? It is happening up here. The question, both times, I'm reading the same place. I need to restart my music. I really need to download more copyrighted free cyberpunk music for my background. Okay, this is the problem. The refactor. And here I have an offset value. Which I need to use. Now I'm moving the offset. And the received byte is the maximum size I read in the input. But inside the method, I'm always reading up until the first null byte. So this should work. It didn't. Now I'm even moving the offset. Why? Did save, did recompile. Why is this not reading any new bar? Let's go to parse. Is there anything I can do here? In theory, the second part should, okay. The problem now is I'm getting the same values always. And then when I do 0 here, I'm confused. Why is that? Buffer offset, because I'm setting the offset inside the loop. It should be here. Rookie mistake. What should I call this? Let's say key offset for now. This is probably a good sign that I need to use smaller functions. Beautiful. Is it beautiful? No, I'm just now doing it like Google. I'm dropping the second question. So for the first one, I got the correct value. For the second one, I also got the correct value, but I'm not returning things. What's happening here? I'm getting a question. Am I getting a question? Print. Sign here. Oh. Okay. Lost my mono cable. Okay. I'm getting this, but for the second one, I'm just getting the plus sign. I think I know how to debug this. So now, not only print this, but also print it in any type. Then go up here. I think I also need to learn how to use GDB to debug this. Exactly. So the first byte is a 0. Because I placed the 0 up here, maybe it's just a matter of adding a 1 here. And then remove, run. So at least this one got solved. Everything broke now. Line 20. Zero to offset. Second byte. Because now I don't have a null byte at the end. codecrafters. This is also weird when it's printing this. It's missing an O here. But in the result I have the O. I have 0101 here. So the idea is to have the domain name and then 0 and 0101. Right? And right after it should start with the domain name again. Okay, in that case, why are you even missing in the first place? Let's look at it again. I have domain name 0101. Okay, domain name 0. But in the second part, what I'm getting is 01. I am not starting from 8. Okay, something is off between these two places. First, over here, I am not touching any offsets except for passing them on, right? This is irrelevant. This Q offset is from the next from the previous value. Okay, and then over here, I'm increasing the offset up until I see the 0. Right, so it reads everything up until here. Then I read this, increase the offset. Then I read 01, increase the offset. This is it. Yeah, that was it. So I was reading 2 bytes, but increasing the offset by 1. Happy. And then remove these print statements. Also over here. And I have now, I never search my history like that, right? So I have now almost identical response to what 111 is sending back to me. Right, 6F64 8. Yeah. Except for the last few bytes, which is the TTL and the IP address, which I'm mocking. Now, what I need to do is to also duplicate the answer part, and for answer they don't care about what is the answer today. or I can do so. Do care about it, right? I can have an array list of answers. And then according to that, set the correct name for the answer section and a custom IP. Let's practice what I learned with the array list. Let's also save this for now. Parse non-compressed questions and remove this line. Yeah. Then over here, let's have var questions being std mem std heap. Array list. Was it heap or mem? Std array list, none of them. Array list. And type here would be U8. No, it would be. Why I'm even making a question answer alignment. Answer. And then defer answer unit. Then I think it's quite the same. While I less than qd q header that qd count I plus equal to 1 like this. Pick this up. Put it here. This is my answer. Here put actually, yeah, I don't need it to be like this. It should be 4. It's way more efficient to do it based on the questions that items and call this Q. And then over here, Q dot name. Q q.type .qtype and q.qclass. I'm not sure if it's correct thing to do, but let's assume it is, and then try answers that append allocator, and here put answer. Okay, that's that. Then the answer length is something I'm going to define here. Use size 0. Should I every time add 12? What is this 12 bytes for? Look at you. Right header, right answer, show instruction, right answer. Yeah, the 12 bytes is here. Was it? No, it's 10 bytes. 2242. This is 10 bytes. Why I was adding 12 for answer links? Ah, okay. Because I was compressing it, and 2 bytes was needed for the compression. Let's leave a comment. 2 bytes from for compressed name. Ten for details, and the rest data type. The thing is, now though, I'm not doing that. But anyway, let's do this. I think this should be fine. For answer length, I just want to see what I'm writing down here. I have answer to bytes. Open answer in 2 bytes. Aha, okay. Here is what I'm ignoring, and then writing those 2 bytes. Okay, that's why I said refactor this. And then down here for answers dot items, do an answer, right? And then this up here and move this. That's not what I wanted. Yeah, like this. And the answer length is grown, hopefully. I now should have a longer answer unless it's crashes, which is it. Is actually crashing. Was panic, source and destination are not at the same time. Same lengths, and then here I'm doing it correctly. Offset plus offset. I'm not increasing the offset. I'm not setting the offset. Should I do offset plus equal answer bytes dot length? That's we have progress. Let's see. I have this. What I want to print is the offset and answer lengths. The offset is 52, 32. Is for the answer lengths. Yes, it shouldn't be the answer lengths. It should be answer bytes dot lengths. Yeah, cool. But I assume, let's remove this print statement. What I assume, actually, let me also take a note. Yeah, this is interesting. Debugger. This is a good subject to have. But I assume it's not going to pass because I'm not supporting compressed names yet. Here's code radio DP. If you're seeing this after a while, then it is likely that your server is not responding with appropriate ID. ID. There is an article on debugging. Let's see. Turn on debug mode. Try adding logs in your code. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. What I want to get out of this is while true received byte queue header. I want to have print a string any. Actually, no, like new line any, and send me buffer 0 to received bytes Ziglings type, and again buffer 0 to received bytes. Now give me something. This is good. Let's fix this up and then write something with it. Go to scratch and unzo. So there is a lag on my stream. You're not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth streaming. As such, viewers may experience. But how can I fix it? Stop recording. I cannot pause streaming. I cannot refresh that. Maybe the bitrate is correct. Okay, I'm going to pause the streaming here. Get back to this in another. Interesting. I could recover the same stream as soon as I pause it. Okay, and it's in excellent condition now. Hopefully it continues to be like this. Okay, back to the problem. What I was doing on the query replace, yeah, that with nothing everywhere. This is the bias that I'm receiving now in my program. I'm going to run my program and actually echo this. No, wait, this to cc.sh, and then cc.sh, yeah, like this, and usr vm hash. Let's make it easy like this. Chmod plus x csh. It's curious. Yeah, let's see. Server is not actually crashing, but the value I'm getting is kind of weird. So the ID is 04D2. We have a bunch of stuff as we have. This is not the correct one. The ID is different. I don't want to close the terminal. What should I expect from this test? I'm receiving one question. I'm going to ask ChatGPT. Parse this question bit by bit for me. Parse the following DNS request. Parse by. What I'm worried about is that the way I'm extracting this request is not correct for some reason, but I don't know why. You know, I'm actually, I see a weird character here. L. Where did that come from? XP scratch. I made a mess, I believe, somewhere. Type it now. Okay. Now let's see what happened this time. Not CC. I wanted to run my program. And then run CC. Sure that I can parse that as a DNS message because the encoding is ambiguous and normally okay, how about this one? Okay. I think I don't get it. Man, that's it. Let's see. Hey, Shaikan. Hey, everybody. So, and Valvas, thanks about the setup. what I'm trying to do is to see why these values are okay, but there is something. The way I'm printing the values is not actually showing the actual value because I'm sending something else here. So it's already messed up. Then this print statement up here is not behaving the way I want it to. So what I'm going to do is to run the test again. Or maybe I can just ask it to print it as a hex. I think that's hex, right? Oh, this is more like it. This is more like it. This is more like it. That I like. How about this one now? So any is not printing hex. It's printing binaries. It wasn't binary. Whatever it's printing. Nice. This one is clean. Okay. So the ID is this. Flags are wait a minute. No, I don't want to see this. The Q type and Q class. That's what questions section Q name codecrafters and validity normal. Label respects the length limit. No compression pointers in Q name. Okay, this is the first one that it answers correctly. Now I have another one that my program is panicking on. Now this one. I think here we have the compression in the question and we have two questions. So it's first sending me one question that is successfully working. Okay, yeah, this is a valid DNS query with two questions, byte by byte. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. The ID is 7804. Question one is long as domain name and then def long as domain name. Validity node is that. Okay, so now what I want to do is go to CC, remove this. Was it the correct one? 17, yeah. And then run my server, your program. You bring it up. Beautiful. Now I see where I'm crashing. Panic. Index out of bounds. Index 197, len 10. Wait a minute. Quick UD count is 2. This is what I'm using. And then compression pointer is happening over here. The second question. Oh, that's how the compression works. So it starts reading this much, right? And when it's starting to write this piece, it will refer to this. Am I correct? Okay, so I have the header, I have the question, and then I have this Python. I had what am I looking at? Yeah, okay, it's down here. 03 def, yeah, 3 values, DEF, and then no, actually this one, 3 values, DEF. Can I do this in Python? Do str, then 0x. I think there was something else. It's not str. 64. Text to character in Python. Yeah, R. Is it? CHR. Yeah. Can I do this? 0x64. Yeah. CHR. This is D. E. Right after F. To after the F. Yeah. And then we have C0, meaning that we have a pointer which is 11 on the most significant bits of the 2 bytes that I have. And then 10. By 10, it's a pointer. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. No, it cannot be 10 like that. Oh, okay. It's again in bytes. The address is question 2. Compression pointer to offset. The start of the label. It should come down here. right? And then I have 4, it's 16. It is 16. And then from here is reading over here. But I'm getting a different error. Maybe let's add the message question. How does it work now? I'm thinking about my time. I'm already over my budget for today. Maybe it's better to finish this session here and get back to adding the compression later. Maybe even today. But anyways, thanks for watching. I will keep you posted for the next session when I'm going to have it. Maybe later today or max tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, what you need to learn, and have a nice day.